So the arrival of the BS6 emission norms has meant a lot of things for a lot of automakers, but for Maruti Suzuki, well, it meant that they had to do away with the iconic 1.3-litre DDIS diesel engine. But the thing is that there were a few cars from Maruti stable like the S-Cross that we have with us today that were only offered with that diesel engine. So they had to replace it, and in came as a replacement a brand new petrol engine. That is exactly what we have with us today. We're going to take it out for a drive in this lovely rainy season and find out more about it. But first, let's get a refresher on what you get with the Maruti Suzuki S-Cross. In terms of changes, there's not a lot that's new. Well, there's only one to be specific, which is that it now comes with the latest generation of Maruti Suzuki's Smart Play Studio system, which means the infotainment system experience is actually more intuitive. However, one look at the feature list and you'll find that the S-Cross pretty much offers everything that you would want in this segment. On the outside, you get the same facelifted design that debuted with the S-Cross back in 2017, which means that the S-Cross is still a handsome car even with the arrival of newer competition. You get the huge chrome grille at the front that is flanked by automatic LED projector headlamps with DRLs. On the sides, you get nice looking 16-inch alloy wheels, and there are LED tail lamps at the back, which look smart. On the inside, you have a spacious cabin with a high seating position that gives you a great visibility out on the road. You get leatherette upholstery, cruise control, a digital MID in the instrument cluster, cup holders with armrests at the back, and a rather large boot space, upping the practicality quotient. Yes, it gets Apple CarPlay and Android Auto support, and a rear parking camera as well. But yes, while the positives are there, the negatives remain too, which means you still miss out on things like a rear AC vent, and there is the absence of a sunroof, which we feel is something that should have been included this time around. So now that you're all caught up with what the Maruti Suzuki S-Cross brings to the table, well, let's come to the big change, which is this. The engine. This is a 1.5-litre unit that makes 138 Nm of torque and 105 horsepower. Now yes, this is a brand new engine from the house of Maruti Suzuki, but we have seen this do duty on other Maruti Suzuki cars. That includes the Maruti Suzuki Ciaz, the XL6, the Ertiga, and also the Maruti Suzuki Vitara Brezza. And when you take it for a drive, you'll notice just how smooth and refined this engine is. There are almost no vibrations in any part of the RPM band, and the car has a pleasant exhaust note too. Now remember that this is a naturally aspirated engine and not turbocharged, which means to get the car really going, you have to push up to higher RPMs. In the case of the S-Cross, the engine comes alive post 3000 RPM and offers a relaxed experience under that mark. For overtakes, you will feel the need to downshift for that surge in power and torque. And coming to shifts, well, we drove the manual transmission equipped variant and the gearbox felt really nice. The clutch action is nice and light, and the gear slots in confidently with nice throws across the gates. The drivetrain as a whole feels adequate in terms of performance, but very well refined for the hectic city driving conditions that you would find yourself in most of the time. And speaking of city, the S-Cross takes broken roads like a champ and gives a supple ride experience. And the best part, Maruti Suzuki has priced the S-Cross aggressively too, as it starts from 8.39 lakh rupees, maintaining the value for money offering that it offered ever since it was launched, despite the new engine that meets a stricter emission norm. Well, now it's time to sum up my experience with the Maruti Suzuki S-Cross, and frankly, it's not that difficult because I always liked this car. I believe this is one of the most underrated cars made by Maruti Suzuki, and the reasons are simple. It drives really well, it's packed to the brim with features, it looks rather nice with the facelifted design that this car is carrying, and now with the addition of the 1.5-litre petrol engine, which mind you is perhaps one of the best petrol engines out there, I see this as a far better value for money offering than before. Now add to the mix that the fact that this is priced really aggressively too, and I see this as an absolute win.